Hey, welcome to the ultimate guide to maximize your SAP system. I'm Martin. In today's video, we'll help you unlock functionality you didn't even know existed. Okay, so shall we? Okay, in this video, Patrick is going to be our guide as we dig into another one of our forecast consumption modes. Today, it's going to be backwards consumption only. I'm excited to hear more about this, when this particular consumption mode should be used, and how we should think about setting the horizon. Patrick, what do you have for us today?
Outstanding question. Our forecast is never perfect. And while we should always be working on improving accuracy, we need to accept that we are likely to be wrong in either timing or quantity. The forecast consumption strategies that help us with demand management are a great way to help deal with this challenge. Today, we're going to explore the consumption mode, backwards only. We'll discuss how to think through the number of days back we might want to allow. And for this consumption mode, we would want to think about materials where we have a tendency to underforecast, and we do not want to allow future periods to be consumed. A picture is worth 1,000 words, so let's go in and explore together. So today we are talking about backwards consumption mode. Let me show you how to get there so I can explain it in greater detail. And if you ever worked with me, you know that I start virtually all of my SAP conversations from the MDO4 screen. So let's get a quick overview of the current state on this material number before we start making changes. This specific material number has planned independent requirements loaded to represent the forecast. It also has some sales orders loaded, but let's switch our view to summarize the data in weekly periods. So here we can see in weekly periods that we've got a forecast of 22, 23 per week. It spans weeks 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So every week's got a small forecast of 22 or 23. But then in week number 18, we have requirements of 100. That's from our customer order that we saw on the previous screen. And so MRP is actually going to add that customer order to the planned independent requirements that are loaded. And when MRP runs, it's going to try to bring in enough inventory to cover 123 pieces for both the forecast and the customer order. And in many cases, we don't actually want that to happen. So something we can do is we can actually go get into that consumption mode field and define how our forecast should be decremented when we get orders. So let's get right to it.